I have a question for you, and I've been sort of I've been holding on to this question because I'm really dying to ask you. What do you see are the biggest mistakes that clients make in these license negotiations? Like where do you see things really going off the rails?
I think many times customers lock themselves in or lock out a lot of their flexibility even before the negotiation starts. So, how to get the best deal from Oracle, it's really simple, is if you can say no, right? If Oracle puts something in front of you and you could say, no, I don't need that. And, we were talking to a client this morning, they want to negotiate their support renewal. And we're explaining to them, and it's significant. It's over $10 million a year. And the renewal comes up at the end of May. So like, how do we get that down? We're not using all this stuff. It's like, well, it's a little late for that, right? You got 2 weeks, you got 3 weeks. Oracle's not going to move very much now, but your ability to get Oracle to move that needle is before the next renewal. Oracle says, well, you give me $10, 10 million. How about I give you nothing, right? If you can counter with that, then that negotiation and that flexibility that you were talking about, because I can confirm from all these years that everything in that agreement with Oracle is negotiable. There's a price on everything. And that price could be your abilities to walk away or timing, right? The end of May, we get a lot of things. So I think, what we're seeing, what we often see is customers are already locked in, right? We told Oracle they won the business, or we need more Oracle database to run this project. So I put my red Oracle hat back on, and if a customer says to me, I need your software, there's nothing else I can use, I'm really not going to be too anxious to give them a big discount or give them concessions in terms and conditions. So for me, the negotiation is often won or lost on the technology. Like if you can walk away from that, and even just, you still want to use Oracle, but they want you to do a ULA and you can do something different, right? So that's where we see a lot of the mistakes is, they've dug themselves a hole and we're trying to get out of that. So, and that's a long-term thing, right? Oracle is a long-term play. Those contracts are written for long-term lock-in. But what do you think? Where do you see customers making mistakes?
I don't know. I've seen it. I've seen this issue come up again and again. I don't know if it's a mistake so much, but what I see is that Oracle seems to have a universal approach to this, where they say, we often have a situation where clients they're buying more from Oracle than they need. They're buying much more than they need and much more than they're using. They might be buying entire categories of products that they don't even use from Oracle. And what they've been told is that yes, but you had to buy those products in order to qualify for this discount. In other words, don't even think about cutting, X or Y or Z, because if you cut those down, what we do is we just raise the price of what we're going to take away this discount or that discount. So I feel like what they've done is customers almost get into this like Hobson's choice, where if I try to order less from Oracle, it's going to cost me more. So I'll just keep over ordering from Oracle. If I decide to certify my use rather than keeping the EULA going, I'm just going to pay more. So I feel like it's not so much a mistake, but I feel like being aware of that game that's going on can help the negotiation. And Craig, I'm a firm believer in what you said. If you are not willing to get up from the table and start looking at alternatives, you're never going to get a decent price. They will stretch themselves and they will push in order to keep business that they're worried about losing. If they're basically guaranteed the business, their interest is only in getting sort of the highest price from the customer.